I have to take a breath here. My hometown, Plains, Texas. I always want to be a cowboy. And I always will be. I was very, very blessed to have this hometown. This is special to me. When I was asked to speak, I kind of was taken back, and I've been honored to, everything that I've ever been a part of. It's not because of me; it's been because of the people I've been associated with from the early birth to modern day, where I am in a community that I've loved and given an opportunity. I'm surrounded by a great bunch of men and young men that it's every day. It's not a job. It's a blessing, and I love it. But my hometown, Plains, Texas, is always special, and getting to come back and speak it's kind of like the Academy Awards for me. It is. I've been honored to get to speak in San Angelo at the Angelo Football Clinic, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Waco, where I thought, when I was growing up as a kid from Plains, I thought that was unbelievable. But this is the Academy Awards for me to get to come back to my hometown. So many familiar faces and everything, and they always say, that your memory is the first thing to go. Well, I'm just going to attest right now, it's the hair. I had a lot of hair when I was in high school. And I used to think this cafeteria was so damn big. Because I seemed like I was always getting put back to the back of the line. It took forever to get up there to get served. But, it's really small. Believe it or not, it's my hometown. And I ate many a meal in this cafeteria. I'm very proud of it. And as I said, tonight I want to, Killer, I know Killer, we grew up together. When we graduated, I'm surprised they didn't shut the school down. There's a lot of teachers and a lot of coaches that went through a lot of grief because of our class. But I was so blessed to have this opportunity to come back, and no, I'm not going to speak for 8 minutes. I got the podium, and I'm going to be here for a while. So if you got a special program at home, you better DVR it or whatever, because I'm going to speak, and I'm going to speak from my heart, and I hope that I've got a lot of kudos and a lot of things I'm going to talk back that you'll remember and laugh and reflect, and then also I'm going to talk about some of the things that I believe in, and then thirdly I'm going to challenge you what I think is right and what we're all called to do. The first people that I've got to thank is obviously my family. My mom and dad taught me love, family, discipline, work ethic, integrity, and to fight and never give up. I would like to say that I wish my dad was here, but I can only imagine what he thinks right now. He was ornery, and I got the orneriness. My mom, the most loving, she's my hero. She worked many a day out on that Texaco service station down the street. She did everything for me and my 3 sisters that anybody could have asked. And she's fought and won the battle of breast cancer. That's awesome. My dad taught me it was never good enough. I can remember, and I'm very honored tonight. This is my college coach that taught me, Coach Clem Mancini. Stand up. He drove from Lubbock. He's retired. Drove to Lubbock. But I can remember playing it. He drove from Plains to Silver City, New Mexico, and that's a pretty good drive. And they drove it many times. And I had a pretty good night. I had 2 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and was named Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Player of the Week. Heck, I was big time. I was hoping everybody noticed that. I get a call from my dad afterwards. He said, "Well, you missed that other interception. You had 3. That's the way he was. It wasn't never good enough. He challenged me. And I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. But my parents loved us, and they gave us a home and they were part of this community. And they were, God could have planted a better seed. I'm so blessed. My three sisters, Wanda, who's here tonight, Lily Sue, who lives in San Antonio, Teresa, who's in Louisville. They're all three part of the education. They babied me from the word go. They had to play football with me in the yard when they didn't like to. I hated playing dolls, so I always ripped them into it. Me and Susie had some of the darndest fights you've ever seen. But I love them dearly, and they've always been so kind and gracious to me. They travel. I was fortunate enough to have them at both state championship games when I was there. They traveled to be there. My brother-in-law, Dwayne, is the brother I didn't ever have, and has been very special to me. His family, his mom and dad are here tonight, and they're just awesome. My grandmother, the only grandparent that I knew. If you knew Vicey Hinkle, she was a treasurer, county treasurer. She had rheumatoid arthritis, the most crippling kind. Her hands were turned, her feet, bless her heart. As a young boy, raised and got to sleep at her house and being raised by her, she taught me something that I'll never forget, and about toughness. She never whined, never cried, never complained. She always thought she had a better deal than anybody else because she was given another day. And she taught me that toughness from an early age, and it's carried me a long ways. So my grandmother, my Mima, I love her. I didn't get to spend a lot of time, but the time that I did was precious. My aunts and uncles, so many of them. Two here that everybody knows, Aunt Faye and Uncle Alfred. We're so, I couldn't have been blessed with a better set of family. They were kind of a second family. That they weren't always just there to help me, they also got me in line too. That's one thing that you found about the Nelms and the Beard and the Hinkles. We created the Board of Education. And you know what? That board didn't abuse me. It didn't abuse my skin, but it sure straightened my little butt out. So, but the Board of Education was created, probably Weldon Nelms was probably the guy that started that back with all teachers back in elementary and junior high and so on. But my aunts and uncles and so many cousins, I know Deborah, Donna, Kathy, John, Jimmy are here tonight. My mother, am I missing anybody? I don't want to miss any. They're so precious and important to me. But my family has always been there for me, supported me. My aunt and uncle Ruth and Larry Murphy, who are, and Don and Pat Hinkle, that most of you know, special people in their families. All of my cousins are so special. My wife, who couldn't be here tonight because she's taking care of my other two grandchildren because my son-in-law and my middle daughter won a flight to Vegas and the trip. So Mama, Grandma and Nanny had to take over. She wanted to be here tonight. We've been married. She's put up with me for 27 years. Now, if you put up with a football coach for 27 years, you've earned every crown in heaven. So, she is my biggest critic. She's my biggest fan. And if you ever, after every game, it's always, why are you always running that up the middle crap? And, it's always, she gets me right. But she understands. Last year when we had that great run, and we had some tremendous kids and coaches, and we had the opportunity, I always wanted to be, I always thought I was going to be a Dallas Cowboy, or I knew from the time I can ever remember, I always wanted to be a coach. And I always thought I was going to be that guy that replaced Tom Landry. Well, I didn't replace Tom Landry, and I didn't get to be a Dallas Cowboy, but in 2011, I got to play on that Dallas Cowboy Stadium in Jerry's World, and it was awesome. But my wife, she was so excited last year. Every game, I had to give her the scouting report, what are we going to do, and all this, it was amazing. My three lovely daughters who had to put up with their dad, who was sometimes never there. My wife had to be mom and dad, and I thank her and respect her for doing